There's a consensus that Britain needs a new political party, that neither the left nor the right are representing millions of people out there in the country. But what should that party campaign on? Some have talked loosely about things like reforming the civil service, removing regulations in the economy, and bringing big tech to manage public services. I don't think that's right. I've been doing a lot of work on this, and I think that there are 5 issues on which this new party should campaign. The first is crime. Most people in Britain think crime is out of control. They think the police are no longer dealing with it, and they think that criminals are not being treated harshly enough. Whoever gets on top of crime as an issue will be rewarded at the ballot box. The second is immigration, both illegal and legal migration. The new party should promise to do whatever it takes to regain control of Britain's borders. If that means leaving the European Convention on Human Rights, if that means reforming the Human Rights Act, then so be it. And in terms of legal immigration, contrary to what some in the cabinet now think, voters really want legal migration brought down. So the new party should offer a national referendum to reduce net migration to below 100,000 a year to where it was before this broken experiment with mass immigration began in the new Labour years. The third issue should be economic populism. We now live in an economy that works for the few against the many. This is one of the reasons why Jeremy Corbyn broke through. But the new party shouldn't be calling for radical redistribution. That's not what most people want. What they want is the playing field to be leveled out so ordinary people have a fair chance. That means clamping down on the big corporates, the top 1%, the high net worths, who, to be frank, are taking the piss, and treating Britain's economy as a private playground, not a place to which they have a sense of obligation and a sense of responsibility. Fourth, oppose woke political correctness. It's divisive and it's un-British. Don't call it woke. Only half of the country know what woke means. 90% know what political correctness means, and they don't like it. Most people in Britain now think that they cannot say what they want to say because of this stifling culture. This means campaigning to remove things like diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives from companies and the economy. We're now spending billions of pounds on these things that don't really make a difference. But it also means rooting out these divisive and un-British ideologies from our schools and our universities. Once voters tune into this issue, as we saw in Scotland, they break 80-20 against this radical madness. And if people tell you that voters don't care about these issues, look at Scotland, look at America. Once they're forced to tune in, they don't like it. Fifth, identity. The new party should unashamedly say that it will protect and promote Britain's distinctive identity, culture, and history, which millions of people out there in the country now worry are being lost in a tide of globalization and bland liberal universalism. The new elite today want to repackage who we are around a global celebration of diversity. But there's so much more to Britishness than diversity. We have a distinctive identity of our own, and we should be unafraid to protect and promote that distinctive identity. This isn't crude nationalism. This is the most powerful story we have about who we are. The left's racial identity politics is primed to push us apart, to cause division. Just look around society today. Do you really think the left has a capable, compelling, and appealing story that will hold us together? And on the right, the British Tories are completely afraid to talk about anything that has the word national in it, and view many of these questions as being low-status questions that they don't want to get involved with. The new party should cut through the middle of that and speak directly to the British people, saying there is something unique and special about coming from these islands, and the new party should protect and promote that. And lastly, what holds all of this together? It's a principle of popular sovereignty. It's a principle that says the people should be in charge, not the elite minority, not the power-hoarding centre, not the institutions that are dominated by the same people from the same backgrounds with the same values. It's about sending power down, not up, but down to ordinary people, to their villages, their towns, their regions, taking the areas outside of the M25 as seriously as we take areas inside the M25. That principle of popular sovereignty, if you tap into it and you harness it and you mobilize it, will ultimately build a movement that respects and represents the British people and will ultimately, I think, get us to a much better place politically and socially, building a country that we can all be proud of.